Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Arbiters of Sound. I am Berk and I'm here with my friend Vasilis.
Hi, Berk.
Hey, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Let's go.
So, what's happening today?
So what's happening today is that I'm going to play a very cool song. No, maybe that's not the right way to sell it, but basically it's what I would describe as kind of psychedelic rock, but kind of also poppy and dreamy. You know, somewhere in between the two, essentially.
Is it new?
Reasonably new, 2019.
Yeah, okay, it's new.
Yeah. But I guess, you know, it's an interesting song with like multiple personalities. So yeah, hopefully it keeps it interesting.
It's not Patton.
It's not Patton. It's not Patton. Yeah, I mean, sometime. But I'm going to keep you guessing, as I said, so not this time. Yeah, so are you ready? Cool, let's do it. This is Crumb, and the song is called Part 3. That doesn't mean anything to you? Okay, so we'll just play it. Cool. Falling down. I'm up there.
Ooh.
Sexy.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Well, I mean, now you know me, so this is cheating.
is it?
This is like, you know what I would like, and you just play it to me.
I didn't even approach it from that angle. I mean, I just think it's a very interesting song.
I just absolutely enjoy everything in this song.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like it definitely is retro.
Yep.
It's kind of like late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got all these elements, musical elements that I enjoy, like transistor organs and these very dreamy guitars that are clean in terms of distortion, but at the same time, lots of echo and reverb and then filter, all of those things, like, but clean guitars
Yeah.
and very, very tight drums.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say that the drums remind me more of like Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things remind me of Tame Impala.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, that's it.
And then
That's where the psychedelic thing as well comes from. You know, the more modern psychedelic sound.
exactly, it reminds me of like probably Tame Impala's first album.
Right.
But Tame Impala's first album is probably a bit more aggressive. This is smoother, so I probably like that a bit more.
Yeah.
And the vocals, like this kind of cold female vocals.
Yeah.
Almost whispering, and
Yeah.
I really, really like.
It's almost, yeah, it's just so, like, not in a bad way, but it's almost like she can't be bothered, but it's like, it's such a nice, lazy feeling.
I disagree
like,
with that. I
okay.
disagree. She didn't give me the impression that she couldn't be bothered.
But
So
again, not in a bad way, it's just very, like, oh,
I just enjoy that a lot. Sometimes I don't enjoy vocals that are very powerful, very in your face, projecting. Sometimes I feel it's too much. This
Yeah.
is laid back, it's chill, it's a bit mysterious, it's more in the atmosphere
yeah.
of the song.
Yeah,
so I
for sure.
really, really like that vibe. I mean, tell me more about them. I honestly want to know now.
Yeah. What can I tell you about them? So they're an American band.
Mm-hmm.
They just kind of do this sort of, dreamy pop, psychedelia mix. I don't know. I love sort of the chords that you get with them, and also just the massive changes. They go verse, chorus, verse, and then should we do chorus? Nah, fuck it. Something else. I love that. Not just from they're trying to be different perspective, but it's always like, they keep you guessing, and like I said, the song has multiple personalities in my view, and
But everything fits together very well. And I think production-wise, the choice of sounds and the way that they've blended everything, and the bass, I don't know if that's like a precision bass. It's like bassy, top end is missing. You can't really hear like fingers or picking. It's very, very smooth and tight at the same time. It just feels that everything gels together so nicely.
Yeah.
And the drums. I did say the drums before. Didn't I say the drums? Yes.
You did say the drums. Yeah.
I love this kind of
Yeah,
drum
yeah.
sounds.
Yeah, of course they fit together, but I guess the chords they use, and then you have these like keyboard run-ups, especially like what you might call the chorus, where it feels like someone's just fallen down a hole and they're traveling underneath in some mysterious like land, and then straight back into some kind of more standard, let's say rocky verse. I don't know. I just love these like soundscapes that they create.
See, in the previous episode, I was advocating that we need to do new things.
Yeah.
And you can claim that now the sound of this isn't necessarily new or modern.
Okay.
And I guess that there's a lot of music coming out these days that sounds a lot like this. And I don't know. I mean, I can see where the inspiration is coming from, but in my mind, this is something a bit different. But maybe I am wrong. So, what I would like to ask, if viewers know something that's actually old that sounds like this, like something, I guess, 60s or early 70s that sounds very, very similar to this, I'd really like to know that, because I'd really like to see, where the sound is coming from. I can see certain influences in there.
Yeah, for sure.
But
They do add a twist, right?
That's what I think. That's the same I feel like about a lot of Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Like Tame Impala have that sound, and it is Tame Impala. You can clearly say that it's influenced by old stuff, but it's I'm curious to
with
know.
some extra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm curious. Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely approve.
definitely approve. Cool, amazing. Short and sweet. They didn't have to convince you of anything.
No, man, this is easy. You
Okay.
know, you just
Maybe it's time for pattern next
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'll keep in mind.
or Dream Theater.
That's the impossible level, isn't it?
That would be good content.
Cool. Well, let's move on to yours then.
So
So,
I'm going to play you something not very old, but not very new.
not very old for the first time.
Thank you. Now old enough, but this century,
Okay.
2000.
2000.
2000, yes.
Shit, so I might
when
even
you
know
were
it.
3 years old, yes.
I wish.
I have a special history with this song, but I'm going to tell you later.
Okay.
You probably know the band. It's Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. I mean, yeah. French band.
Yes, French
yeah?
band. That is
Okay.
their very first album, and that might even be their first or second single. It's called If I Ever Feel Better.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar enough to know it, but yeah, I know the band, so let's see. Going down the church route, are we?
They say an end can be a start. Feels like a barbarian still alive. It's like a bad day that never ends. I feel the chaos around me, a thing I don't try to deny. I better learn to accept that there are things in my life I can't control. They say love is nothing but a sore. I
No
don't
way.
even know what love is. To me it is I've had to fall. But you
Okay.
know I'm so tired of it all. I have no terror of these spells. Finding out the secret words won't tell. Whatever it is, it can be named. There's a part of my world that's fading away. You know I don't want to be clever, to be being or superior. True like ice, true like fire. Now I know that a breeze can move me away. Now I know there's much more dignity in defeat than a brother's victory. I'm losing my balance on the tightrope. Tell me please, tell me please, tell me please, tell me please. If I ever feel better, remind me to spend some good time with you. You can give me your number. When it's all over, I'll let you know. Hang on to the good days. I can lean on my friends. They help me going through hard times. But I'm feeling enemy. I'm in league with the foes. Blame me for what's happening. I can try, can try, can try, can try. No one knows the hard times I went through. If I'm in this game, I missed the goal. Stormy days and over. Dreading out nothing that I better cost. I watched all my castles fall. They were made of dust. After all, someday all this mess will make my love. I can wait, I can wait, I can wait, I can wait. If I ever feel better, remind me to spend some good time with you. You can give me your number. When it's all over, I'll let you know. If I ever feel better, remind me to spend some good time with you.
Absolutely love that guitar at the top.
Yeah.
So nice.
When it's all over,
It's like kind of delayed as well.
Behind the beat.
Yeah.
it's like somebody took my place. I ain't even playing my own game. The rules have changed, well I didn't know. There are things in my life I can't control. I feel the chaos around me, a thing I don't try to deny. I better learn to accept that there's a part of my life that will go away. Dark is the night, cold is the ground, and the sickle is silent in my heart. There's one that strives a hell to come. I am sure I come through, I don't know how. They say an end can be a start. Feels like a barbarian still out. I'm losing my battles on the tightrope. Tell me please, tell me please, tell me please, tell me please.
There it is again.
Remind me to spend some good time with you. You can give me your number. When it's all over, I'll let you know.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Super cool.
Very, very cool. Very tight. Obviously not tight in places where it's trying not to be tight, but generally, yeah, very nice. Very nicely placed. Instruments everywhere. It's like very, very dry and personal, and you know, things like that in some sections. And then when it opens up, it's just like this beautiful feeling of like release. And now a guitar at the top, like I say.
It has that weird chorus. Like it doesn't feel like its chorus is super powerful.
It's just sad.
Yeah,
it's a sad chorus.
Yeah,
like that's what kind of affected me as well.
And
it's not like a triumphant thing. It kind of is, but it's also just like.
If you notice the vocals as well, there's one vocal on the left, one on the right, and they do this kind of little harmony.
Yeah.
And both melodies by themselves, they're not really very prominent or powerful.
Right.
It's just without the harmony, it doesn't really work as well.
I see. Okay.
It's just very, very. It's a weird chorus, and I really, really like that.
But yeah, that's when obviously everything happens. There's so many things going on there. It keeps you very, very interested. So maybe that's why also the vocals kind of take a bit of a backseat. Yeah, it's super beautiful, that guitar especially. I think that's what gives it a lot of the roominess too at that point. And so yeah, like I say, you just feel that opening up, and it's so nice. But yeah, I was trying to listen to lyrics like the last time it came about in the chorus. It's what is it like? I'll kind of let you know when I'm feeling better.
It says, "Yeah, if I ever feel better, remind me to spend some time with you."
Yeah, like what does that mean?
You can give me your number and I'll let you know.
It's kind of like a lazy dating thing. It's like, yeah, I kind of want to, but I also might forget. I might just feel like shit and have my own issues. So, you know, we'll see what happens. I don't know, maybe it's more serious than that, but like, it's also just a bit like, nah.
It's also the first part is a bit difficult to understand, to be honest, because the way Phoenix sing, you've got a bit of the French pronunciation of things, and I'm not really sure I always understand.
Okay.
He says it feels like he's buried, but he's still alive. I always thought he said something like he likes a barbarous delight.
Can we look that up?
No, I know that's what he says. He does not say barbarous delight. He says, I'm buried, I'm still...
That's the line.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm buried, but I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I don't know, that is quite dark, I guess. It's some kind of, like issue, depression or whatever.
There used to be, in Greek TV, there probably still are, lots of these kind of semi-illegal analog channels. Actually, now with digital, I don't know if that still exists, but pirates basically.
Yeah.
And regional pirates. No one was, no one cared, and they would just have these really shitty channels. It would be like telemarketing and random music videos, and that was one of those music videos.
Okay.
And because it was not like MTV or something like that, they didn't have titles. They didn't tell you who it is. And the song didn't say. And he has this very weird video.
No Shazam back in the day, I guess.
Which we can link to. That it's weird because it's live action, but at the same time, the backgrounds and everything is fake. It's not CG in the sense it's not 3D. It's like, I mean, you have to watch it. There's something about it that makes it look very weird and creepy. There's some dudes with motorbikes and they're racing in a place that is like covered with old Roman statues, and it's just, I don't know. I was a teenager and I looked at that and I was thinking, wow, this is weird.
It's almost like things that don't belong together. Like
it was cool, but also that the way it was fake, it made it creepy. I don't know.
Uncanny Valley kind of situation.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
And that music, I'm not even sure if it fits the
aesthetic of the video.
And I just knew that video. I knew it existed. I probably watched it like a few times over like a year or so. And then I forgot about it. And then 10 years later, it just occurred to me that that song, I think that there was a song that was like this, but at the same time, I wasn't sure that it existed. I wasn't sure if it was like a dream or something.
Yeah.
And I told a friend of mine that I have this feeling there used to be a video with guys driving motorbikes, and I think it was kind of funky, kind of French, but I have no idea what it was. I don't even know if that song exists. And my friend looked it up for like a year.
Shit.
And then one day he sends me an email and he's like, could this be the song?
Damn.
And that's how I was reintroduced to Phoenix
Wow.
10 years too late.
So like,
And I was instantly in love, instantly.
and you hadn't listened to like any of the other stuff? or-
No,
Right.
no. I'd seen, I knew they existed because at the time I think they made this album, which I think it won the Grammy for Best Alternative Rock or whatever
Okay.
it's called, Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix.
I don't know. Maybe.
I just remember that it used to be advertised in like the Apple store. It was like on the, and that's probably why I knew that they existed, but I'd never connected the dots that, ooh. So yeah, obviously Phoenix is a very different band now in terms of sound, and they've gone through being this kind of more French funk
yeah.
to being more of like an alternative indie rock band to now doing something completely different. I mean, it's always pop, but it's
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
With different influences underneath, basically.
Yeah, like their latest album is basically fake Italian. They just
Oh,
say
right.
themselves like they made an album about the fake vacation in Italy and what. I mean, it's half of the lyrics are in Italian. I don't even know
Oh,
if they
interesting.
are proper Italian. They're just making up.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't know they were still going actually.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
they definitely feel like they fell off the radar a little bit, from my radar at least. But that's good to hear.
And I think the singer of Phoenix, Gossip Time, I think he's married to Sofia Coppola.
Oh shit! Ooh, that's a big connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's another big
He's gonna be
connection with
alright.
Phoenix. There is the Daft Punk connection, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. How so?
I have these,
The Daft Punk connection.
yes.
Yeah.
I've got this feeling that before Daft Punk was a thing and Phoenix was a thing, that some of these guys knew each other and they were in a band together.
Right.
And that band later split
into
up,
two.
and Daft Punk eventually became Daft Punk. And so the thing I want to point out is that, like, influence-wise and sound-wise, couldn't you say that this has elements of the same kind of funk disco
Yeah,
that
yeah.
influences Daft Punk?
100%. I mean, that. To be fair, there are a lot of bands in that French new disco genre that, they always say, "Oh yeah, we're influenced by Daft Punk," but it's kind of probably a scene there that they were all part of at some point.
I mean, because
Yeah.
this is 2000, so it's very, very contemporary to the famous Daft Punk records.
It's true. Well, 1 year before it, right? Well, Discovery at least.
When is Discovery? 2001.
I think. In my opinion, was it 99?
I don't know.
I always mix up either side of 2000. Yeah.
And it just feels that it's the same influences, just a totally different interpretation. This is much more pop.
Yeah,
This
that's true.
is more, proper instruments.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas the other one's coming from an electronic dance, even house, I guess, angle.
Well, Daft Punk.
Yeah, Daft Punk, yeah,
for sure. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, you can definitely feel the similarities and everything. I love that kind of genre. That kind of music too. It's awesome.
So what do you call this?
What I call it?
I want to say French electro, but it's not French electro.
I call it like French new disco. It's what I've seen quite regularly and often.
New.
So
And
new disco.
like new metal.
Yeah, exactly. But not as good.
So what Limp Bizkit is for metal, this is for disco.
Linkin Park. System of a Down. Yeah, exactly. That was a great track.
Thanks.
I liked it a lot. I really liked it. And it's got in my head, and I think I'm going to listen to more of it for sure.
This is the track that made me interested again in listening to funk, just
Funk.
the old funk. Yeah,
James Brown.
just generally. Yeah, because I had this problem that at school we used to, play in a little band, and some of the guys would say, "Oh, dude, let's play funk," and they would go and they would play this thing which was like fusion, basically,
Okay.
and I just hated that.
Fusion of what?
Just fusion
Okay.
as a genre.
Jazz fusion.
Yeah. Pat Metheny.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Like lots of electric guitar. So it was not now in my mind, funk is very syncopated, very simple patterns and groovy. That was more progressive, the progressive metal of funk.
Yeah, definitely.
So they were playing a lot of that. And in my mind, that was associated with funk because these guys would say, let's play funk. They would play that. And I was like, I hate funk. I hate funk. Then my friends were telling me, dude, you can't hate James Brown. He's like awesome. I was like, oh, I hate funk. James Brown's like my grandmother.
Never heard of me before. You're just saying shit, aren't you? Yeah.
And then I just ignored the existence of funk, or I ignored that I actually enjoy funk for 10 years probably.
Wow.
And then that happened. So, I'm sorry.
Don't be hipster, kids. That's what happens to you when you're a hipster. Well, you got there in the end. Happy ending to the story.
Yes.
I don't know about the happy ending to that story, but hopefully.
What, to the song or to
Yeah,
finish?
the song. I'm gonna read lyrics because I was intrigued. You know me. I don't really listen to them, but I just felt the sadness, and I was like, I feel bad for this guy. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what happened in the end there.
Well, if anyone has an interpretation of the song, let Berk know.
What, you have no interpretation of the song either.
No, but I don't care. I just don't ruin it for me. Ruin it for Berk.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Well, I guess that's it for today then, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for watching as always. Subscribe and like and all of that stuff. And recommendations for any music are always welcome. We will try our best to get to it. Hopefully see you next time on Outers of Sound. Bye.
Do, 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 do.